V.com. And today we're catching up with Crystal Springs 2023 Tomato Queen. That's Miss Lindsay Willett. She was crowned a few weeks ago, and even though the festival was last week, she's still up to good talking about tomatoes. So, hey, Lindsay.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Well, first, congratulations on getting crowned the 2023 Tomato Queen. How cool is that?
It is absolutely amazing. Thank you so very much. It's been an absolute honor to be able to already be around my people and everything already, so it's been awesome.
I know. Last week was y'all's big festival, so folks don't need to come to Crystal Springs looking for that this weekend. They'll have to wait another year. Did you have a good turnout? Was there a large crowd there?
Oh, yes, ma'am, there was. And honestly, even though it was very hot, we had a great turnout and a great time, plenty of vendors, and we were honestly out there even longer than originally planned for, so we were having a blast.
And I know you'll have that every year. You also have a Tomato Queen that gets crowned there in Crystal Springs. So what inspired you, Lindsay, to go for the crown?
Well, honestly, it's just I've always loved serving people. That's my biggest thing. It's my heart's drive. I love being able to care for people and serve people. And this is honestly a great way for me to be able to get out in my community and meet all the people that I haven't been able to meet yet. Because I haven't been in Crystal Springs my whole life, but I have come to love this town as if it is my actual hometown. And I would never trade it for anything else because these people are so welcoming. And so this really just gave me a chance to be able to serve these people, get to know them, be able to represent them, and hopefully I'll be able to do that in a way that they are proud of for this whole year.
Oh, I'm sure they will be, and proud of the work that you will do. Now, when we think of Crystal Springs, well, some of us may not think of tomatoes or even know necessarily where Crystal Springs is. So how did tomatoes become such a big part of the Crystal Springs community?
Well, it actually is because of Crystal Springs being the largest grower, canner, and distributor of tomatoes back in 1920s, I believe. And so because of that, we were given the title of Tomatopolis, or Tomato Capital of the World. And so we've been able to continue to kind of hit on that. And even though we're not currently the largest distributor, we still get to be able to tell everybody about it, and we lean into that roots of our tomato growing history so much, and it is so much fun.
It is so much fun, and every year we get to talk about it and also bring light to the good things that are going on there in your community of Crystal Springs. Camp Kamasa comes to one as sort of many others. People should know about what's going on in Crystal Springs. So let's talk about the pageant, though, Lindsay. So is it set up like a traditional pageant to become the Tomato Queen, or are there any fun little, quirks when it comes to tomato knowledge or maybe tomato cooking? I don't know. So tell us about the pageant.
Well, when it first started, it was a full multi-day pageant and kind of just celebrating, harvesting the tomatoes and everything that was coming in. But now it's more of an interview process because this has gone more from a pageant and just a beauty thing to being a community service office for the city and for the people. And so because of that, they have a little interview in the morning. We'll have a little brunch and we talk, and the Chamber of Commerce then decides who they feel like is the person they want to represent the city for the year. And every year it changes, but it's an absolute honor to be able to serve in this position for the city.
So what will you do during your reign as Crystal Springs Tomato Queen, Lindsay?
Well, a lot of it, like I said, is mainly a service office. So I'll be out helping with events throughout the city and throughout the year. I'll be out in the parades and helping make sure everything's going well and people are having fun. And I'll be attending ribbon cuttings and being a representative not only for the city but also for the Chamber of Commerce here in town. And just being able to be out with people is a big part of it for me, for sure. So
Sounds like it's going to be
I'm
a
super
fun year.
excited.
It's good. You're super excited. Now, you have to enjoy tomatoes. You can't be a tomato queen and not like tomatoes. So I know your mom, I think, sent a wonderful recipe for tomato pie, which is Rhino's favorite way to eat tomatoes, past just fresh ones. Tell us about the tomato pie recipe. Is that where did it originate from?
Well, the tomato pie I first was introduced to was actually from a church member of mine who brought it to a Sunday potluck, and definitely the best thing I'd ever had. It was absolutely amazing, and honestly, it made me like tomatoes even more because now I'm over here growing my own tomatoes in our backyard and being able to eat those, eating them fresh sliced onto a sandwich, and the absolute best way to eat tomatoes is just eat them.
It's just to eat them. I totally agree. A good old BLT or as a tomato pie, any way you do it, it's gonna be delicious. So, how many did you have them in? Are you doing containers? Are they in a garden? Do you know what kind of varieties you're growing, Lindsay?
Yes, ma'am. We actually have a different setup for some of them. The majority of ours right now are in containers just because of the easier way of being able to move them and space and all that stuff. But we have heirloom Cherokee purple tomatoes that we are currently growing, as well as some Goliath tomatoes, which are very, very large, and I was not expecting them to be that big, as well as the world's smallest variety of cherry tomatoes called spoon tomatoes.
What's your favorite to pick, or what's your favorite to watch grow?
Oh, probably the Cherokee purple. Just it's a beautiful color when you cut it and when you grow, and it's so cool to see the difference between the heirloom and the hybrid plants. It's just so much fun to be able to get out there and do that work and actually see what it was like growing the tomatoes and kind of getting into that history of Crystal Springs.
Which I think is good for us all to know that at one time, Crystal Springs, Mississippi was the tomapolis, or still is, but tomato capital of the world. I think that's cool for us all to sort of know. And if we've never come out and made Crystal Springs a stop on our, visit list or trip to do, what's fun to do there? Where's a good place to stop and eat, Lindsay, or stay? Or how would you tell someone to come and visit Crystal Springs?
Well, if you're coming to Crystal Springs, we got plenty of little shops that you can go to downtown. We've got boutiques pretty much everywhere. We've got a great pizza place here in town, just downtown, as well as some of the best burgers you're going to have at these, as well as we have a flea market that just recently opened up called the Heirloom, and as many different booths, so many different things you can find. And we also have different nutrition places like Refuel that is absolutely amazing to go to. Get yourself an energy tea or a protein shake and get through the day. Just get that little boost that you need to be able to enjoy the beauty of Crystal Springs all around you.
And one of my favorite fun facts about Crystal Springs, Lindsay, is it's the home of Camp Kamasa, which is building the first and only year-round fully handicapped accessible camp. We've featured that several times here on Good Things, and I know it's very close to being ready. I hope you are able to be at that ribbon cutting as the tomato queen. I don't know if it's this year or not, but I know it's coming up quick.
It definitely is, and that would be an absolute honor to be able to be part of. I've been so glad to be able to already be part of that with helping with the military appreciation dinners that they've been hosting for the military coming out to help build Camp Kamasa and being able to just see it as it's progressed in its process of being built.
So what grade are you going into next year, Lindsay?
I am actually going to be a senior.
Oh, congratulations, girl. And I know you're headed out to expand your service past Crystal Springs, I think maybe internationally next week. Where are you headed? Maybe not internationally.
I don't honestly know.
Okay, well, that's fine. Your mom said you had a trip next week. I thought it was a service project, but I may have that incorrect. Either way, girl, you have a year jam-packed full of festivities and events to do, and I think you're going to be great for the job. I appreciate your time here on Good Things, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All righty. Nothing like sounds like my kid. Nobody tells me anything. Where am I going, Mom? They'll figure that part out. But either way, Lindsay Willett is on par to being a truly wonderful 2023 tomato queen. And if you haven't checked out Crystal Springs, you definitely should. And if you haven't Googled Camp Kamasa, make that your to-do today. They are up to some really cool things for kids in our communities. But we've got a lot more for you to get out and do